Hey, what's up? We're back, and this week it's for UFC on ESPN Plus 4, Lewis versus Dos Santos, and it's going to be in Wichita, Kansas, and we're just going to get right into it. The first fight of the night, Alex White against Dan the Hitman Moret, and this is an interesting fight. Dan Moret versus Alex White is a battle of two fighters who badly need a win. Dan Moret, he's 0-1 in the UFC. He was knocked out pretty badly by Gilbert Burns. Alex White, he's coming off back-to-back losses, a first-round submission loss at the hands of Jim Miller in his last fight. He's lost 3 or 4 fights. He's definitely the fighter in more dire need of a win. Dan Moret, he trains out of the MMA lab. He's a good grappler, but he's fairly well-rounded. He fights long. He has decent 1-2s, nice leg kicks, nice front kicks to the body, to the head. He'll throw round kicks to the head. He will throw down, throw straight punch, uppercut combinations. He has nice straight right hand, left hook combination. He has some pop in his shots. He definitely was able to earn the respect from Gilbert Burns on the feet. He likes to counter with the straight right hand. He'll throw straight punch combinations, close the distance. He doesn't move his head. He isn't the fastest fighter. When he gets hit hard, he likes to stand in the pocket, try to return instead of being defensively sound. He has been knocked out badly twice in his last 4 fights. And you have to wonder about his chin. He has only been knocked out those 2 times in his career, and he has 1 career TKO. He's a very strong grappler. He does a great job using his strikes to get inside, get takedowns. He has nice double leg, strong body locks. He's very opportunistic in scrambles, great at taking the back. He's a rear naked choke specialist. He will try to jump on arm triangles, guillotines from standing. He's always working. He keeps a high work rate on top. He'll throw hard ground and pound strikes. He wears opponents out. He was able to get an arm triangle with less than 10 seconds left in an LFA fight. He has very good cardio. He can work from bell to bell. He's going to be looking to get this fight to the floor, exploit White from there. White has shown poor takedown defense over his career. It's a clear path to victory in this fight. If he can take the back, he could easily get a rear naked choke. He has 8 career submissions, never been submitted himself. And for Alex White, he's a UFC veteran now, but he's fighting for his career here, in my opinion, in the UFC. He has 8 UFC fights. He's much more experienced than Moret. White is a powerful striker. He has a nice 1-2, very good lead left hook. He'll throw a left hook straight right hand combination. He will throw hard straight punch combinations. He'll explode in with multi-straight punches or hooks. He has high volume. He keeps high pressure on opponents. He will attack the body with straight rights, front kicks. He's very aggressive. He throws heavy punches. He'll run in with combinations with his chin high, though. He can be countered. He's shown a great chin. He'll walk through shots. On the feet, I feel White will have an advantage. His opponent has been KO'd twice, so White must be confident he can hurt Moret if he lands clean. He needs to show more composure, though, not just blitz in when he strikes or hurts an opponent. It gives them the chance to clinch up with them, and if he hurts Moret, he needs to look for the kill shot, be a little more calm. He has 5 KO TKOs. He's only been knocked out 1 time. He was dropped early and submitted in his last match versus Jim Miller. Alex White does have questionable takedown defense. He was taken down multiple times by James Krause. His aggressiveness makes it easy for fighters to just duck under, get in on his legs, or get a body lock. He has better takedown defense when he isn't attacking. He has a decent sprawl. He'll circle to the back. He was shaken off and put on bottom, trying to take James Krause's back in round 3. He was able to sweep James Krause, got a double leg takedown. He has decent defense against the cage. He'll dig underhooks. He makes his base wide. He'll attack with hard frame elbows and knees to the body, the head. He dropped Mitch Clark with a series of clinch elbows. And off of his back, he will attack with elbows, triangles, arm bars. He has 5 submissions. He has been submitted only 1 time. And he's going to want to keep this fight on the feet, strike. He will be able to land straight punches, hooks, and try to keep Moret on the outside. If he can land a few hard combinations on Moret, he may be able to take him out. Who knows how Moret's chin is. But I will pick Alex White here, but not confident. Or actually, I'm going to pick Dan Moret. I'm sorry, Dan Moret here, but not confidently. I think that, he has a clear path to victory with the takedowns. And Alex White does give his back when he tries to get up. So I feel like, if he can land some shots on the feet, get Alex White backing up, get the takedown, I think he has what it takes to control him on the mat, maybe even get a submission. So I'm going to go with Dan Moret via 3rd round submission in this fight. And up next here, we have Alex Morono against Zach Ottow. And this is a pretty interesting fight. I didn't know there was a beef in this fight, but it was pretty funny. I mean, I was listening to James Lynch interviews with both these guys, and Zach Ottow was talking about how he doesn't know why Morono's talking about his chin because Morono's the one that's been starched before. And then Morono saying he usually doesn't have any problems with anyone he fights, but he's going to love going in there and beat the shit out of Zach Ottow. He doesn't like his character. Blah, blah, blah. So there's some heat coming in this fight. And Alex Morono, he looked pretty good his last time out. He switched his training camp to the Sergio and Fortis MMA, and it paid off. He was in visibly better shape. He was able to earn a dominant decision victory as an underdog in his opponent's home country. He has decent ladder movement. He's light on his feet. He has a good jab, left hook. He'll throw a right hook lead. He likes to throw a jab overhand right combination. He will throw looping overhand rights and jab overhand rights. He has a solid head kick, good spinning heel kick. He will throw nice front kicks to the body. He can get lazy throwing kicks sometimes, leave his chin in the air. He also stands very tall. He's there to be leg kicked, to be taken down. He doesn't throw in combination a lot, especially with his hands. He'll try to dart in with only one overhand right, throw a jab, or spinning back fist, but he doesn't put a lot of combos together. His footwork, his ability to cut guys off, keep a high pace, volume, is probably his greatest strength. He wears guys down. He can start to take over late. He isn't the most technical striker. He gets very wild. He'll wing hooks, overhands in the pocket, tends to duck his head, swing and pray a little bit. He really lacks composure. He doesn't fight technical at all. He hasn't shown major power. And, he only has 4 career KO TKOs. He has a decent chin, but he has been KO'd twice. And he is a black belt, but he is not much of an offensive grappler. He did jump on a guillotine against Josh Berkman, but that was an old, weathered Berkman. Moreno's not a wrestler. He'll rarely go for offensive takedowns. He did attempt a double leg in his last fight against Song. His takedown defense is not good, though. He can be taken down pretty easily. He'll wing shots wildly. Opponents can easily duck under and get takedowns on him. He was taken down over and over by Jordan Mean. He didn't show much off of his back. He has good guard retention. He's hard to pass, but he's not dangerous. He'll try to throw up arm bars, triangles, but he isn't fast with them. He does have a couple over his career. He doesn't have good get-ups. He can be stuck on his back. He went to Fortis MMA after the Mean fight, which is an excellent wrestling gym. I'm sure in part to close that hole. And I have heard in interviews where he's saying that he's worked a lot of get-ups. He's worked a lot of wrestling, so he's ready for that. Knows that's what Zak Ottow wants to do. And he has 6 career submissions. He's never been submitted in his career, and he needs to keep this fight on the feet. He needs to be a little bit more composed, use in and out movement, try to land some big shots on Ottow. We have seen Moreno show some nice counter striking versus Nico Price. If Moreno could keep this fight on the feet, get Ottow tired by backing him up, he could take over as the fight goes on. Zak Ottow, he's a former college football player. He has a good frame for the division. He's an average striker, but he has a good jab, nice right hook. He likes to throw a left hook, overhand right combination. He has decent body kicks, hard low kicks. He has a nice overhand right, solid timing on it. He will throw the occasional 1-2. He'll switch stances often, give opponents different looks. He can throw high kicks with both legs. He has nice front kicks to the head from orthodox. Ottow tries to fight long. He's always popping his jab out there. He's throwing kicks. He seems to sometimes not 100% commit to his punches in order to be in and out. He doesn't move his head when he comes forward. He doesn't have good defensive fighting backwards either. And when fighters blitz him, he can just move back in a straight line, even just flop to his back. I feel Otto's the more technical striker, but Moreno's faster. Moreno goes for it, and I feel on the feet, the hooks of Moreno could put Ottow in some danger. Ottow doesn't have big power. He only has 3 career KO TKOs. Ottow is chinny. He needs to avoid being hit clean. He has been finished 3 times with strikes. Zak Ottow is a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well, and I see him wanting to get this fight to the ground. I feel he's going to be the physically stronger fighter, and if he can duck under, time a double leg or body lock, he should be able to put Moreno on his back. He was taken down a couple times in round 3 against Dwight Grant, and he had some good top control to win the fight. In my opinion, Dwight Grant, he's a better version of Moreno in terms of being dangerous with the wide shots, having better takedown defense, more athletic, hitting a little harder. And Grant didn't really let his shots go in that fight, which Moreno has no problem doing, so Ottow has to be ready for his aggression. But he's good at getting in on his double leg, staying connected, driving his opponents to the cage. He will chain takedowns together there. He tries to get opponents to the mat. He has a good single leg also. On top, Ottow isn't super impressive. He likes to get the half guard. He really puts that pressure on opponents. He'll attack with arm triangles. And he was able to pass to Mount against Northcutt, but he really didn't do much damage in top position. He was even able to get to side control. He attacked with the crucifix. He landed some short elbows, punches. He did just enough damage to keep the ref from standing them up. He will attack with guillotines. If he gets on top of Moreno, I don't see Moreno getting off his back, I don't think. Ottow did get reversed for the guillotine by Northcutt and mounted. Moreno does have a good guillotine, so Ottow has to be wary of that. Ottow has 10 submissions himself, but none in his 7-fight UFC career. He has been submitted 1 time in his career. I think Ottow should look to go forward, force Moreno to swing hard, get him to back off, duck under, get the fight to the ground. I think he will try to be effective. I think he will be effective trying to take Moreno down. If he can get it on his legs, and I do see him having success with top control. He just needs to avoid getting clipped with a big shot, and I think he can win the fight. Ottow can get tired, and if he gasses out against Moreno, he can get taken. He can't get the takedown. He could find himself in trouble. But I think Zak Ottow can get it done. Ottow's going to be the stronger fighter. I see him being able to get takedowns. If he can get on top of Moreno, I've seen nothing from Moreno that makes me think he'll be able to get up. He was continuously taken down and controlled on his back by Jordan Mean. And I think Ottow can do the same. So I'm going to go with Zak Ottow via decision in this fight. And up next, we have Luis Smolka, who returned to the UFC with a bang. He was cut after 4 consecutive losses. He was in a bad place in his life, battling alcoholism. He's now changed his life around. He quit drinking. He won 4 consecutive fights. He picked up a submission victory in his return fight to the UFC, and he's going to be looking for his first UFC win streak since 2016. He will be taking on Matt Schnell. He's a former tough competitor. He's riding a 2-fight winning streak himself. But Smolka is a pressure fighter on the feet. He likes to walk opponents down. He likes to throw check left hooks, leg kicks, body kicks. He'll throw a jab, straight right hand. He will throw front kicks to the body, then try to land a right hook over the top. He has good head kicks. He will throw a lot of straight right hands. He's slow with the strikes. Fighters are able to see his punches coming, slip them, catch his kicks. He doesn't have great defense. He'll just raise his guard high, stand flat-footed. He's tough, though. He has a good chin. He'll continue to press forward even after he's dropped or bloodied. He isn't a huge KO threat on the feet, but he has 6 KO TKO finishes, mostly on the ground. He's never been finished with strikes himself. He's a good BJJ practitioner. He's tall. He's long for the division. He tries to use his length to get body locks, trip takedowns. He'll also shoot single legs. He did a great job getting in on a single leg against Sumadarji. He was able to get good timing on a double leg, drove his opponent to the cage, chained it to a single leg, chained it to a single leg, and got the takedown. Smolka does a good job using his length on opponents in guard to posture up, land hard punches. He's good at throwing the legs to the side, moving to side control. He looks to be more worried about control now than he did previously. He's dangerous with submissions. He's very good in scrambles. And in the past, he used to go for a lot of high-risk submission attempts, being scramble fest type fights. He's now, in his last few fights, been more worried about control, ground and pound before looking for the submission. Against Cal Estrada, he was able to survive the first round. Got a takedown in round 2, got to mount, run down ground and pound, severely hurt Estrada, threw a great amount of volume, and the fight was stopped in between rounds. He also had great ground and pound against Sumadarji. He was able to get a slick back take, got the finish there. He has 7 submissions. He's only been submitted 1 time. And Smolka seems to have much more of a game plan when he gets in there than he used to. He goes right for the takedown almost right away. He has a one-tracked mind. And I see him trying to get Snow on his back, working his ground and pound, ultimately trying to find a submission. And Matt Snow had a shaky start to his UFC career. He was 0-2, but he's bounced back with 2 wins. And Snow's pretty technical as a striker. He's going to be the better striker in this matchup. He's light on his feet. He has solid footwork. He has a nice body jab, nice jab to the head. He has a very nice straight right hand lead. Throw a lot of right hooks as well. He'll throw a double jab right hook, double jab left hook. He has good left leg kicks, oblique kicks to the legs. He'll throw straight right, left uppercut combinations. He has good hand speed. He closes distance with fast, straight punches. Good high kicks, front kicks to the body, to the head. Good job catching kicks, returning with punches. He's a strong counter striker. He'll slip, jab, and throw uppercut, straight right hand combos. He'll also throw nice counter fadeaway left hooks. He does a solid job moving his head when he enters in a range, but it stays in center line too long at times after he throws his strikes, admiring them too long. When fighters get inside, they can hit him clean with straight punches. He's a black belt in karate. He's very fast in and out. On the feet, he's going to be the better striker, but he is a bit chinny, and if Smolka lands clean, he could hurt Schnell. Schnell doesn't have a lot of power, only 2 career KO TKOs. He's going to have to sit down, hit Smolka with a big shot, earn respect, and if he doesn't, Smolka's just going to walk him down. Schnell has been finished twice by KO TKO. Schnell is a good grappler. It will be interesting to see how the jiu-jitsu will play out. Schnell does a good job getting double underhooks, pushing opponents to the cage. He'll shoot good time double legs, but he's not a very active wrestler. He will shoot at the end of rounds to try to steal rounds. He also seems to like to wrestle in round 3. When fighters get inside on him, they do seem as if they can take him down. He stands tall. Fighters can get on his legs. He has solid takedown defense against the cage. He will attack with darces also, but he can end up on his back hunting the submission. He will attack with nice guillotines to try to counter as well. Off his back, he will throw up triangles, arm bars. He got knocked out with very short hammer fists against Hector Sandoval, which is a little eye-opening. He will attack with submissions at the expense of position. He can hold on to submissions for too long. I do feel Smolka most likely can get takedowns, and this fight could come down to if Schnell can get up or submit or sweep. Schnell does have good cardio. He can go for all 3 rounds. And Schnell has 7 career submissions. He has been submitted twice himself. Schnell needs to keep this fight standing. He needs to try to use his movement, catch Smolka as he tries to get inside. He will be the better striker. If he can keep it standing for 3 rounds, there's a high likelihood he will win. I think Luis Smolka should get the win. I think he will be very aggressive. He's not going to let Schnell have space, spam takedowns. I see him getting inside on Schnell, getting into the ground, and gradually taking over the fight. I think Smolka will be able to land some ground and pound, eventually catch Schnell in a submission as he tries to scramble. And I'm going to pick Luis Smolka via second-round submission in that fight. And up next, we have a rematch here of a fight with Morris Green versus Jeff Hughes. That was a fight for the LFA title. And Jeff Hughes, he won the first matchup. He's riding a 4-fight win streak. And Morris Green, he's stepping in for Daniel Spitz on short notice. He's looking to get one back here. Green is 1-0 in the UFC. He also participated in Tough 28. He's going to have the more UFC experience in this matchup. Jeff Hughes, he's a tough fighter. He's not extremely athletic. He has been working more and more at Strong Style MMA. He said that he's implemented a new strength and conditioning program. So we're going to see how he looks. Maybe he's going to be a little bit more athletic here. He has hard, low leg kicks, good overhand rights. He also has pretty good boxing and hand speed. He'll throw nice 1-2s, hook combinations. He'll throw a nice right hook to a 1-2 combination. He will throw nice lead uppercut, left hook combos. He'll also throw a nice right hook, overhand left combo. In the first fight, Hughes was able to continuously get inside, back green to the cage, really dominated the fight. He struggled a bit in the first round to deal with the length, the athleticism of Green, but that was really it. Hughes is very good at throwing in combination against the cage. He'll mix in spinning back fist, uppercuts. There's a ton of volume for a heavyweight. He's well conditioned. He trains with Stipe Miocic, so he has a great training partner to work with. Hughes isn't a huge power guy, but it is heavyweight, and he has 4 KO TKOs. He has a strong chin, but he was TKO'd in his one loss. He's a grinder. He likes to work against the cage in top position. He was able to consistently back green up to the cage, land big uppercut, hook combinations, overhands, and he was mixing in takedowns well. He has good body lock entries. In top position, he'll wear guys out with short shots. He has solid control. He could try to pass quickly at times and could get swept. Hughes was able to easily defend the submissions of Green, and on the ground he exhausted him. He isn't a submission threat himself. He just has one in his career. He's never been submitted. He doesn't need to change anything from the first fight. He needs to get inside, get Green back to the cage, throw boxing combos to get takedowns, and just beat him up. Green was able to get a submission off his back in his last match, so he needs to mind his P's and Q's, but this is Hughes' first fight with the UFC. And he should be confident because he's already soundly defeated Green. So I don't expect a lot of jitters here. But Maurice Green is an interesting guy with a great frame. He's 6'7" with an 82-inch reach. He's fairly athletic. Good jab, throws hard body kicks. He'll throw tight 1-2s down the middle. He'll throw front kicks to the body. He will throw a 1-2 to a body kick combination. He has good head kicks. He'll throw front kicks to the head. He has nice straight right, left uppercut combinations. He likes to throw a lot of lead uppercuts. He has nice lead elbows and knees. He will try to close the distance with flying knees, lead elbows when fighters are against the cage. He tends to drop his right hand when he throws a left straight or a jab, and Hughes is able to capitalize on that. He seems to not have the power to hurt Hughes, and Hughes is able to walk through his shots. When Green gets hurt, he doesn't move his feet. He just shows up. Hughes was able to hurt him several times against the cage. Green doesn't have big power. He just has one career KO TKO. Does a lot of reacting. He gets very defensive when fighters attack him. He waits for his opponents. Once he slows down, he can get picked apart. He has fought in Glory, and he was knocked out twice there. He was also hit with a big two-piece combination against Juan Espino and dropped. So in my opinion, he still has a questionable chin, even though he's never been finished by strikes in MMA. He's strong in the clinch. He looks to be improving in that aspect. He has some nice knees to the body, to the head. He will throw nice elbows from the Muay Thai clinch. He's a poor wrestler, though. He's not a great grappler. He's long, so he's somewhat dangerous in his guard. He was able to get a triangle choke victory in his last fight, which is pretty impressive. He's only the second ever UFC heavyweight to get a triangle choke. And, he had some grappling success in round 1 against Hughes. He was able to get a body lock. He was able to push him against the cage. He controlled him a bit. He threw some nice hard knees to the body. He was also able to thwart off a few takedown attempts. He cut Hughes with some nice elbows, but he didn't seem to have huge power in those elbows. He was taken down at will, really, after the first round, and he had no get-up game to speak of. He was able to get a couple sweeps. He even took top position, but he couldn't hold it. He does have a hard guard to pass. He'll throw elbows off his back. He attacks with submissions, fairly quick triangle armbar transitions. In the first fight with Hughes, he had very little success off his back. He got beat up. He was exhausted by the middle of the second round. And taking this fight on short notice, you have to wonder about the gas tank. Green on tough, he was very undisciplined. He smokes cigarettes, which ruins your cardio. And his best chance to win this fight, in my opinion, is early. He needs to start fast, try to stay long, take out Hughes. He needs to let his shots go more. He needs to keep the center of the cage. He needs to get the jab, the straight punches going. When Hughes closes the distance, he has to make him pay in the clinch, throw hard knees, hard elbows, try to take him out. Jeff Hughes should be able to replicate his first performance, though, in my opinion. I think he knows from the first matchup. Once he gets inside, puts the pressure on Green, he can't keep up. He obviously has to respect the clinch elbows, the knees of Green, and his guard, but if he doesn't get finished, I see him winning comfortably. And if it goes to decision, I think he'll win the fight via decision as well. And, I just feel like he's now training at strong, so he's probably even better than the first time they fought. And there was a sizable gap in skill level in the first fight. So I just think that he's going to be able to get a decision victory here and get a win in his UFC debut. So I'm going with Jeff Hughes via decision in this fight. And up next here we have Grant Dawson against Julian DeRosa, and this is an interesting fight. Grant Dawson is one of those guys that's pulsing too. He has the picogram thing like John Jones, so he had to. I think he had to get like an exemption. I don't know what happened, but he's now finally getting his UFC debut, and he had a win on the Dana White Contender Series. He's going to be facing Julian DeRosa. He's coming off a pretty brutal knockout loss at the hands of Devontae Smith, and DeRosa has been knocked out in all three of his UFC fights. So Grant Dawson, he's fairly well rounded. He's still green on the feet. He likes to keep pressure on opponents. He usually opens up throwing a lot of kicks. He'll throw front round kicks to the body. He has a decent jab. He has good long right hooks. He'll throw hooks in combination while mixing the uppercuts. He's good at slipping a punch, landing a left or right hook or overhand. He'll also attack the body off slips. He'll throw nice high kicks. When he's the faster fighter, he usually dominates because he can slip and counter with strikes or get a double leg. He's quick. He cuts fighters off well, but he holds his hands super low. His chin is straight up in the air. He's super open to being hit. He has been TKO'd before. When he doesn't have a speed advantage or his opponent who could throw straight, or his opponent could throw tight straight punches down the middle, he kind of struggles. He will walk through shots. He's reckless. He has shown a good chin, but it's a risky style. The forward pressure does wear opponents down, though, and he's able to drown them once he gets them on the ground. He has 3 KO TKOs, all due to ground and pound. In his one loss, he was finished with elbows to the head when he was in on a double leg against the cage. And Dawson just needs to use his striking to close the distance. I feel if he does catch Rosa clean, he could hurt him, but on the ground, he has less of a chance of getting hurt himself. He's a very good grappler. He's a much better grappler than striker, in my opinion. Great timing on his double leg, sets him up well with the strikes. When he gets on top, he does a great job of working immediately, rains down big ground and pound. Great job posturing, landing big straight punches, hammer fists. He does a great job wearing his opponents down, passing, moving into dominant positions. He'll mount, he'll throw big ground and pound until our opponents give their back. He has good rear naked chokes, back control. He will flatten opponents out, soften them up with shots before seeking in the chokes. He is a bit of a rear naked choke specialist. He has 5 career rear naked chokes he'll attack with darces, anacondas. He has great cardio, and once he gets one takedown, usually severely diminishes his opponent. He has 9 career submissions. He's never been submitted himself. If he gets this fight to the mat, I see him having good success. He should look to use his striking and get inside, get takedowns. If he can get into top position, land hard ground and pound, he could put Rosa out. I also feel once he lands a few takedowns, he could open up with the striking and potentially catch Rosa with a big shot off a slip. If he can land a clean one on Rosa, there is always that possibility Rosa will go to sleep. And for Julian DeRosa, he had a rough go in the UFC. He's been knocked out cold in all 3 of his UFC fights. Definitely needs a win here. A loss would most likely mark his last UFC fight of his MMA career. He's 29. If he wants to make a go of it, he needs to get on a winning streak now. He's a long, lanky fighter with decent long-range striking skills. He's a solid jab, good left hook. He'll throw jabs to the body. He'll throw outside low kicks. He has nice front kicks to the body. He'll throw a front kick to the body to a jab combination. Nice round kicks to the head. He does a good job making the kicks appear like it's going low, then throwing it high. He likes to throw lead uppercuts. He'll attack the body with left hooks with straight punches. He throws good flying knees when he backs opponents against the cage. He's flat-footed. He likes to slowly walk opponents down, but he stands right in front of fighters. He holds his hands low. He doesn't move his head off center line, and that's why he's been knocked out so many times. He relies on absorbing shots, wearing opponents out with forward pressure. He likes to brawl. He'll taunt. He'll talk to his opponents after he lands or takes a good shot. He does have 10 knockouts in his career. He's dangerous. Definitely has chin problems, though. He's been KO'd 4 times. He was just knocked out unconscious 4 months ago. He's coming back very quickly. And he is an active grappler. He rarely initiates takedowns. He definitely will be trying to use his wrestling in reverse here in this match, keep it standing. His takedown defense is not very good. He stands tall. He's straight in the air, so fighters can get on his legs easily. He will occasionally get double underhooks, get in top position himself. He's harder to take down with body locks or against the cage than in the open mat. He's long. He utilizes that to attack with chokes. Off his back, he has decent get-ups, but he gives up his back himself. He will attack from full guard with triangles, arm bars, and even omoplatas. He's not bad. He has quite a few triangle finishes. He has 9 career submissions, but mostly versus low-level fighters. When he hurts fighters, he will jump on submissions. He has good rear naked chokes. I would be surprised to see him tap out Dawson, though. Rosa has never been submitted. He should try to use forward movement, throw those front kicks to the body, head kicks, straight punches. He's going to have a chance to snipe Dawson, KO him due to his Dawson style. But Grant Dawson is getting a favorable matchup here. Should be able to get takedowns. I think he can land shots on the feet also. Rosa's coming back 4 months after being knocked out. He can't be 100% recovered. So I'm going to go with Dawson via second round TKO in that fight, and it's one of my most confident picks of the night here. And up next here, we have a fun matchup with Yana Kunitskaya versus Marion Reneau. It's a good fight. It's an up-and-comer versus a veteran matchup. Marion Reneau is 41 years old. She's still doing the damn thing. She was on the best run of her career, being unbeaten in 4 UFC fights, but she had her streak snapped by Kat Zingano. This will be her 10th UFC fight. She's a big experience advantage against Yana here. Yana's only 1-1 in the UFC. She was kind of given a suicide mission in her first UFC fight. She took on Chris Cyborg on short notice. She was up a weight class. She fought for the title. And she was able to win her first UFC fight at bantamweight via decision against Lena Landsberg. She's going to be looking to build on that. And Kunitskaya, she's big, athletic for the division. She has a quick jab, nice front kick to the body. She'll jab to the body. She has nice right hooks. She'll throw lead left hooks. She will throw round kicks to the body. She'll throw nice spinning back kicks to the body, to the head. She'll also throw spinning back fists. When she throws her punches, though, she drops her hand. She can get hit clean. She can get hit with straight punches, overhands. She seems very timid when she gets hit. She was decimated by Cyborg. She does a lot of reaching for the clinch instead of setting up her entries with her shots, with her punches. And if she does that in this match, she's going to be made to pay for it. She has 7 KO TKOs overall. She has a fairly good chin. She's only been finished that one time by Cyborg. And Kunitskaya is a much better grappler than striker. She's very physically strong. She's very good in the clinch. She'll land hard knees to the body, elbows. She has good control against the cage. She'll win rounds by landing short shots, having control against the cage. She does a good job getting a far side underhook, dumping her opponent right into side control. She'll look to get to the crucifix position, look for punches, elbows. She has good head and arm throws, body locks. She has a nice low single as well. She keeps heavy pressure on top. She does a good job pressure passing to side control, jumping on the back when opponents try to stand up. She isn't great at securing position on the back, and usually her opponents are able to escape to their feet, though. When she was put on her back by Tanya Evander, she showed a decent bottom game. She's aggressive with her guard. She'll attack not only with elbows, but submission. She had a nasty armbar against Evander in their first fight. She did a great job of when she goes for an armbar, she can hook the leg. Then she can't get the armbar. She'll start to attack with a heel hook or try to sweep the top position. She's very calm on her back. She doesn't take much damage. She's in her guard. Being so aggressive does come with risks, though. If she cannot get the submission or sweep fighters, they're able to transition to strong positions, such as Tanya Evander. She was able to survive the submission attempts, ultimately took the back out of rear naked choke. Kunitskaya has only one career submission. She has been submitted 2 times. And Kunitskaya is going to want to push Reneau against the cage here, land strikes. I do think she can take her down, and she has to be careful in Marion's guard, though. And striking at a distance could be an issue for Yana. I could see her getting pieced up if she can't get inside. And Marion Reneau, she's going to be looking to bounce back here after a loss to Kat Zingano. Reneau's going to be the better, more fluid striker with their hands. And she's going to be a good athlete on the feet. She has solid speed. I do feel she's lost a little explosiveness over the years, but not much. She seems to need a little bit of time to warm up now. She starts slow, but when she finds a rhythm, she puts on a good output. She has a nice jab, good straight punch combinations. She will jab to the body. She has nice leg and front kicks. She throws a nice lead left hook. She will throw nice 1-2 combinations. She'll throw a 1-2 left hook combination. She has very accurate right hooks, nice overhand rights. She does a good job feigning, using false starts to land her overhand right. She will throw front kicks to the body, to the head, to a head kick combination. She has solid head kicks. She will close the distance with straight punch combination. She has good power and good speed for her division. She is almost 42 years old. In one of these performances, you have to imagine we're going to see her just not have it anymore, but I don't see signs of that. She's going to be the much better striker in this matchup. I feel her feints, her jabs, her straights, her overhand rights will give Kunitskaya problems. I think if Reneau can land a few shots on Yana in a row, she could get her in desperation mode. Her striking actually looked pretty good against Zingano. She was just a bit too aggressive. When she hurt Zingano, she allowed her to take her down. She did get her leg beat up a bit against Zingano. I think that was a big factor in that fight. And Reneau is extremely tough. She can weather a storm, come back to win. She has solid power. She dropped Sarah McMahon in her last win with a left hook, straight right hand combination. And when she hurts opponents, she doesn't let them off the hook. She swarms. She's a finisher. She has 5 KO TKO. She's very durable. She's never been finished herself. She's a dangerous submission artist. She's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. She showed some impressive submission wins in the UFC over title challengers like Jessica Andrade, Sarah McMahon. She isn't a great wrestler, not an active seeker of the takedown most of the time. Her work on the ground is done off of her back. She doesn't have the best takedown defense. She can be taken down. She did a good job early in her last fight, pushing Kat Zingano against a cage. She landed some pretty nasty elbows, some nice knees to the body. She was able to stand up multiple times from bottom, and her guard is good. You know, you saw Kat respected it. She stood up several times when Marion was putting her legs high, and she has very dexterous legs. She's able to recover, keep guard very well. She's always looking to bring her guard high, attack with triangles, elbows, arm bars. Good job breaking her opponent's posture by pushing on the head, throwing frame elbows, and quickly throwing up the triangle. Good job using the triangle to move into mount, and she'll attack with the triangle armbar. She says she could hold the triangle for 7 minutes, and when she gets it locked in, she will stay in that position for the rest of the round until she could finish doing damage with the elbows. She had Sarah McMahon in the triangle for over 2 minutes. When Reneau sweeps the top position, she's super aggressive. She'll attack with heavy ground and pound. She loves to take the back of her opponents, flatten them out, and finish. She finished her wins against Melina Dudieva and Toledo Bernardo with ground and pound. And Reneau's a finisher. She's finished her last 4 UFC wins. She has 3 career submissions. Seems like when her fights go to decision, they don't tend to go her way, though, even if she wins clearly, like in my opinion, like against Ashley Evans Smith, Boetsch Correa, the judges still didn't agree. And Reneau has good cardio. She pushes for the finish in the final seconds. She's definitely the more dangerous fighter, in my opinion, more likely to finish. And Reneau should look to keep this fight standing and start quickly. She's trying to throw a hard straight and overhand rights in combination, try to catch Yana as she's backing up. Her 1-2s will also be effective, in my opinion. And Kunitskaya tends to back up straight to the cage, drop her hands. And I feel if Kunitskaya is in Marion's guard, Marion could possibly be the busier fighter with elbows with submission attempts. And I'm going to go with Marion Reneau by finishing this fight. This is a massive fight for Reneau. Any fight at this point is super crucial due to her age, and she has to take these up-and-comers out, to stay in contention. And I think Reneau is not going to let Kunitskaya just hold her against the cage. I don't think Kunitskaya could take Reneau down consistently and hold her down or avoid danger. And I feel Reneau will be able to land combinations against the cage that hurts Yana, and either finish with TKO on top or submission. So I'm going to go with Reneau via round 3 KO TKO. The thing with Yana, though, is she is young, she's athletic with strength, good frame for the division. She can improve rapidly. She may be able to come out here and get the victory, but in my opinion, I don't see that happening. She has too much of a gap to make up, so my pick's going to be Marion Reneau. And I think she's going to get the finish there. And up next here, we have Tony Rocco Martin against Sergio Morais. And, if anyone's been watching this show for a while, you know that I've been very high on Tony Martin for a long time now. Cashed on him 3 times in a row. And Tony Martin is one of the most underappreciated, underrated fighters in the UFC. He's 3-0 since moving to welterweight. He's won 6 out of his last 7 UFC fights. He's going to be taking on the Panther, Sergio Morais. He's another underrated fighter here. He's 8-1 in the UFC. He's won 8 of his last 10 fights, including 2 in a row. And for Tony Martin, he's a beast, man. He's a fighter I've long pinpointed as a future contender. He looks to be finally hitting his stride. He's a long fighter. He's always measuring opponents on the feet. He likes to stay at a distance, throw nice jabs, straight right hands. He has super heavy low leg kicks. He really hurt the lead leg of Jake Matthews in their last fight. And his straight right hand is accurate. It's fast. He can catch fighters as they close the distance with it repeatedly. He has a nasty head kick. He does a great job noticing which side his opponents are slipping his right hand, falling with the head kick. And he likes to throw counter uppercuts when fighters cross the distance, try to make them hesitant to shoot. He knocked Ryan LaFleur out with a nasty head kick. He also dropped him with the straight right hand. And his control is just awesome. He's always reading. He's always staying at his own range. He's a very measured fighter. He'll rarely get out of position or overextend himself. And he likes to lean out of the way of shots, return with powerful 1-2s. The sharpness of his strikes makes opponents get into a defensive shell. And I feel he's going to have a major striking advantage here against Sergio Morais. Morais doesn't really set up his strikes, and he needs to disguise when he's closing distance much better in this fight. But Tony Martin as well. Tony Martin tends to hold his hands low. In his last fight against Jake Matthews, he got a little emotional in the first round. They started brawling. He did get dropped, but he recovered very quickly. I don't even think he was that hurt. I think it was kind of more off-balance thing. But definitely needs to keep his hands up. He can't really get too emotional against Morais because Morais, he just loves to go in there and wing bombs. But Martin only has 1 KO TKO, but he's improving as a striker. He's definitely a dangerous striker now. He has a great chin. He has a lot of confidence, and he's never been finished with strikes. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's definitely a submission artist. He's improving his wrestling defense as well. Great distance control on the feet. He does a great job not letting fighters get inside on him where they can get in on his legs or clinch up with him. He showed great clinch technique against Ryan LaFleur. He dug strong double underhooks. He pushed him to the cage, and then he was able to disengage. He has been susceptible to being grinded out in the past, but I think he was diminished at 155 pounds. I think he's much harder to take down here at 170. Great takedown defense against the cage. He has a wide base. When fighters attempt doubles, he'll attack with Kimuras. He has nice Kimura sweeps off his back. He finished Fabricio Camois, who's a decorated black belt with the Kimura. When Martin gets on top, he's very strong. He has good ground and pound. He likes to stay heavy, pressure pass till he can take the back, get rear naked chokes. He has great back takes, and when he gets in top position, he's hard to get up from under. Very strong in half guard. He'll look for Kimuras. Almost gets the cross body position. He can get his weight, too far distributed. Sometimes get swept. He was swept by Jake Matthews. And he is good off his back, though, as well. He'll immediately attack with Kimuras, attack with leg locks. And, he is a submission specialist, in my opinion. He has great Kimuras, key locks. He'll attack with darces, front chokes, when opponents try to stand up. And if he gets on top of Morais, if Morais shoots a sloppy takedown, I really feel that Martin could submit him. I know Morais is a great jiu-jitsu guy, but, we saw that Anthony Rocco Martin did a great job denying the takedown of Matthews, quickly jumped on the back, ultimately transitioned to an anaconda choke, put him to sleep, and Jake Matthews is a black belt as well. Martin has been submitted twice himself in the UFC. He has 9 submissions. He is coming off a big submission win in Australia against Jake Matthews, and he truly feels he's one of the best fighters in the world. A win here for either guy here jumps them into the top 10 conversation, so this is a must-win for both fighters at this point in their careers. And Martin is going to be the better striker, in my opinion. He needs to keep the same game plan he's been using in his last couple fights. Use good ladder movement, try to land the straight right hand, head kick, time uppercuts. He should chop the lead leg of Morais with calf kicks. If he can defend the takedowns, reverse, get on top of Morais, I feel he will be able to control him on top. Also, I think he can catch Morais in a Kimura or a front choke if he shoots a sloppy takedown. And Sergio Morais, he's a wild striker, but he's athletic. He has good power. He'll wing wide looping hooks with both hands. And if they can land, he can hurt you. He will throw a left hook, overhand right combination. He'll wing counter left hooks. He'll throw a straight right hand left hook combo. He will almost move his head like completely off center line, wing right hooks. He'll throw hooks in combination, and you have to respect the power. I do feel Morais has opportunities to be successful in the striking because Rocco keeps his hands low. He can get emotional, and I do feel Morais can, get hurt himself as well, though. He has nice round and front kicks to the body. He'll sneak in a head kick at the end of his combinations. He's fast. He closes distance quickly, but he doesn't have a lot of variety in his striking. He will throw the occasional leg kick, but he doesn't throw them very often. He has a good chin, but he has been knocked out twice. He only has 1 KO TKO himself. And Morais, he's a multi-time jiu-jitsu world champion. We got to see him finally show some of that off in his last match against Ben Saunders. Morais hasn't shown a lot of wrestling over his UFC career, but in his last fight, he was much more diligent and looking for the wrestling. Instead of swinging wildly, he was more calm early. He moved, then he came in, he swung a little bit, he got the body lock, got the takedown. In round 2, he didn't even throw a strike before he caught the kick. He brought Ben Saunders to the mat. And he does a great job keeping heavy top pressure and half guard. He'll get body lock position under, in half guard at the same time, and it puts him in great position to pass the side control to mount. He'll methodically move to dominant positions. He has great fundamental jiu-jitsu. Once he gets to a dominant position, he usually doesn't give it up. He has very good high mount. Against Ben Saunders, he almost got an armbar in round 1 in the mount. He's gotten a mount and triangle against Neil Magny. We also saw him set that arm triangle up in round 2 at the high mount against Ben Saunders, moved to side control, cinched it up, submitted him. And, his match against Tim Means, he pulled guard when he was engaged in the clinch. And when he's on his back, he will try to trap an arm, look for a triangle. He likes to get deep half guard position, sweep to top. But opponents haven't felt comfortable enough to stay in his guard, stand up from that position, return to striking. He hasn't been able to show off his bottom game very much. He has questionable cardio, but a good game for winning decisions. He has a knack of winning split decisions and close fights over his UFC career. He's racked up an impressive record of 8-2-1. Morais definitely needs to throw winging overhands, hooks, try to catch Martin. He can keep his head stationary, his hands low. He can also have his chin a little high at times. I feel he needs to make it a brawl. He needs to try to duck under after he gets Martin reacting a little bit and get it to the ground. He shouldn't try to strike with Rocco much. I feel he should look for the takedowns like he did his last match. There's a lot of volume and big winging shots that make the crowd ooh and ah, which influences the judges. And Morais has won a lot of questionable decisions over his career due to fighting at home, in my opinion. He's won 2 split decisions. He's also had a split draw in Brazil. He's 6-1-1 in Brazil in the UFC. He's 1-1 in the USA. The last time he fought in the United States, he was flatlined quickly by Kamaru Usman. We're going to be in Kansas this time, so I'm just going to say, we're not in Brazil anymore. So I'm going to go with Rocco Martin again. I just think on the feet, he will know what's up. He'll be calm. He'll let Morais go crazy. He'll stay technical. I see him landing hard, low leg kicks early and often, beating up the leg of Morais, catching him with straight punches. I think Morais is going to be swinging wild to get inside, try to get takedowns. If Morais gets on top of Rocco could be in trouble, but I think if Morais is too confident, he pulls guard. He could be surprised by the top game of Martin, and I think ultimately, though, he won't be able to get Rocco to the ground. I see Rocco hurting him with the leg kick, slowing him down, landing shots as Morais opens himself up, being more and more wild. I think that Rocco will land a big straight right hand, finish Morais in round 3 as he gets more tired, as his leg starts to hurt more. And I'm going to go with Anthony Rocco Martin to get another victory here and move that winning streak to 4. And up next here, we have a very close, interesting fight here with Omari Akhmedov and Tim Boetsch. And when I first saw the line here, I was very surprised with Tim Boetsch being such an underdog, like plus 175. The line is definitely tightened up now. I guess I could see the reasoning. Tim Boetsch looked pretty bad in his last fight. He's 38 years old. Always is very inconsistent. He struggled with the wrestlers, so I can't see the angle there for the line to be like that. But Omari Akhmedov, he's a guy that his striking is not very good in my opinion. And he gasses out, man. He gets tired very quickly. He gassed out against Vettori, gassed out against Razak Al Hassan. We have seen him knocked out before by Sergio Morais, but he has shown a good chin recently. He took all the shots against the big knockout artists like Abdul Razak Al Hassan, which is pretty impressive. And just in my opinion, though, he definitely needs to get takedowns to win this fight because his striking is not very good. He wings overhands, doesn't move his head very much. He's stationary. He's not the fastest guy. And Boetsch is definitely going to hit harder. He's going to be bigger. And, Tim Boetsch, he's knocked out some great guys in the UFC. Johnny Hendricks, Yushin Okami, Hector Lombard. And he's a big, powerful guy. If he hits you, you're going to feel it. You're going to get knocked out potentially. And, he's hard to take down himself. He's a big 185er. He's going to have a big size advantage. He's fought at 205 before. He's thrown guys around himself. He has been taken down before. And Omari's going to want to try to take him down. I do think that if he can't take down Tim Boetsch, though, he's going to gas out, and Boetsch is going to have a big chance to come back at a knockout victory here. And I kind of think that's what's going to happen, man. I think Omari's going to try taking him down. I think he's not going to be very successful getting takedowns. I think Tim Boetsch is going to be able to stop most of the takedowns. And I think Omari's going to start to get tired starting in the round 2. And I think Tim Boetsch will be able to close that distance, land a big shot, knock him out. And I'm going to go with Tim Boetsch to get the win here via second round KO TKO in this fight. And up next here, we have Beneil Dariush against Drew Dober. And, I'm leaning towards Benny Dariush in this fight. I just think he's better all around, better everywhere. And Drew Dober, he's very well-rounded. He's very good in all areas, but he's not great anywhere. And I just think Dariush is a little more explosive than him. He could wrestle better. He could put him on his back. The thing about Dariush, though, is obviously that he has that chin issue. And I feel like in recent fights, maybe he hasn't been showing up in 100% the best shape. Last fight, he looked very good against Thiago Moises. He bounced back after those 2 losses by knockout. He was able to control Moises on the ground, control him against the cage, which is pretty impressive because Moises is a black belt world champion. Didn't put Benny in any type of trouble at all. And his cardio looked good in that fight. But in other fights, his cardio has waned. He's hasn't really looked the same since he got knocked out by Barbosa. And definitely needs a win here to reestablish himself. With 2 wins in a row, he can kind of say that he's kind of recovered from those knockout losses. He's going to be a force again and probably would get a top 15 matchup. But this is probably a much bigger fight for Drew Dober. He's never had to fight this type of competition. He's never moved into that top 15. And he's the one that's kind of surging here. He's the one that's been doing much better in his career. And, Drew Dober, he's a guy that can mix it up. In his last fight, he was getting hit a little bit by John Tuck. He got some takedowns. He has a big legs, big heavy kicks. Definitely if he lands clean, he could finish Benny Dariush. But I just think Dariush should be able to get takedowns. He should be able to have control here. And I think Dariush is just going to be able to edge a decision here in this fight. So I'm going to go with Beneil Dariush via decision here. And up next here, we have a kind of an odd fight here with Blagoy Ivanov versus Ben Rothwell. Both these guys are looking to get back into contention with the win. And I kind of thought Ben Rothwell retired. He's been off for almost 3 years. He's coming off a USADA suspension, but he's coming back. And Blagoy Ivanov, he's only 0-1 in the UFC. Rothwell definitely has a wealth of experience over him. Ivanov is a striker. He has solid power. He isn't very athletic. He's a bit of a plotter. He will slowly walk opponents down, look to land heavy punches. He also likes to circle the cage, try to walk opponents into his power. Definitely shouldn't do that in this fight. He should go forward. But he has a nice jab, good straight right hand. He'll throw double jab, right hook combo, good straight left hand, right hook. He's deceptively fast if you stay in the pocket with him. He can close distance fairly quickly. His overhand right is powerful. He will throw lead left hooks, jab left hooks. He'll close distance with 2-3 overhands or right hooks in a row. He isn't the most explosive fighter. He's slow with his foot speed and doesn't have a lot of variety in his strikes. He has very powerful low kicks, but he rarely throws them. Doesn't really throw kicks at all. He has a short reach, so he can't get pot shotted from the outside. He got picked apart with jabs, with straight punches, with front kicks against JDS. He could never get inside, never got anything going. He has 6 career KO TKOs. He's very durable. He's never been finished with strikes. And he hasn't shown his grappling game in recent fights, but he does have a decent amount of submissions. He's never even attempted a takedown against JDS. He's good at catching kicks, though, dragging opponents to the mat. Doesn't have great top control, but his ground and pound is heavy when he lands. He has good takedown defense. He'll attack with guillotines, front chokes. He has 3 submissions in his career via guillotine. He has 6 submissions overall. He was submitted one time by Alexander Volkov. And I don't envision him trying to take Rothwell down at all. He has questionable cardio. He got very tired against JDS, and wrestling would just wear him out, in my opinion. He's extremely tough, though. He's always in the fight. He needs to let his hands go more, go forward more. Can't allow Rothwell to just walk him down all night. Rothwell is hittable, and Burgoyne needs to catch Rothwell with a big shot, hurt him to win, in my opinion. But Ben Rothwell, he's a similar type fighter to Ivanov. He will be significantly larger, though. He's going to have a 7-inch reach advantage, probably about a 10-pound weight advantage, and he's very durable, and he hits people, they feel it. He's a very hard hitter. He's very awkward style. He stands almost square in his stance at times due to power, and he's powerful from both stances. He'll switch stances as well. His movement is just very hard to get a beat on. He likes to keep his hands open, extended due to his reach. He's able to hand fight, get openings for his shots. He has a pretty good jab. He'll throw nice straight punches, nice powerful hooks. He closes distance with straight punches nicely. He will land a nasty right hook to the body, and he will throw the right hook to the body a couple times and throw uppercuts to the head. Very nice uppercuts. He likes to lean towards the right a lot, even as he walks forward, keeping his head totally off center line. He throws everything in his shots. He throws hammers. He'll throw heavy low kicks, front kicks to the body. He's a tricky head kick. He has a KO via head kick himself. And, he definitely has a lot of power. He has a big experience advantage here. He's fought the who's who. He's KO'd guys like Alistair Overeem, like Brandon Vera, like Brendan Schaub, guys that were in the top 15 in the UFC. And, so he has a lot of KO TKOs over his career. He has a lot of power, and he has the ability to take ungodly punishment, come back to finish the fight. He's getting badly beat up by Overeem before turning tables with a big KO. And he's not a wrestler either, but I do think he'd be the more likely of the two to grapple. He will try to close distance, get double underhooks. He will get the single collar clinch, throw nice uppercuts there. I haven't seen him get in top position very much lately, but I imagine his size and power, he'd be pretty heavy on top. And he has very good takedown defense. He's a super dangerous go-go choke. He's the only fighter to ever submit Josh Barnett. Definitely dangerous to shoot on Rothwell. He's very odd to fight. He's extremely durable. He moves very awkwardly. And I see him being the more active fighter here, the one going forward more. He just needs to walk Boetsch down, keep his output high, and outwork Ivanov. His reach will be a big factor. And if he can mix in leg kicks while hand fighting, staying at his range, he will be successful. I think this is a good comeback fight for Rothwell if he's the same as he was before. It's hard to gauge how he will return, but he's going to be the much bigger guy with a longer reach, more tools, experience. And I think as long as he doesn't get caught and hurt, he can win this fight. Rothwell has been out 3 years, but at 37, that's not too old for heavyweight. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here, say he comes back looking good, gets the victory here. And I'm going to go with Ben Rothwell via decision in this fight because I think that Blachowicz could take a lot of punishment, but I think Ben's going to be coming forward. I think he's going to land the more shots, and I think it's going to be a clear victory for Ben Rothwell. And up next, we have an awesome fight, a potential fight of the night here with Nico Price against Tim Means. I know my buddy Justin from UFC Bro Picks has Nico Price here, so good luck on that bet, but this is an action-packed fight. Should be a war. Both these fighters have been extremely fun to watch over their UFC runs, and this could be the fight of the night. And Nico Price is coming off a brutal knockout loss, while Tim Means is coming off a first-round TKO. A win here for Means would steady his career again after an up-and-down run lately. A loss would probably indicate Means is done as a top 15 guy. For Nico Price, he needs to win badly. He's been finishing 2 of his last 4 fights. He's taken a lot of damage. But Price is the younger guy with less mileage, but I feel both fighters have taken punishment. Tim Means is a very sharp striker. He fights long. He's also nasty in close range. He has nice 1-2s, front kicks to the body. Those 1-2s, right straights to the body as well. He throws hard low and oblique kicks to the legs. He has a very accurate lead counter left hook. He has sharp counter right hook as well. He throws a straight right, left uppercut combination. He has nice step in knees, good head movement. He'll slip and rip effectively. He will throw overhand uppercut, overhand left combinations. He has nice high kicks. He keeps a high volume of punches out there. He'll double, triple up on jabs. Good job changing the speed of his punches, peppering fighters, mixing in faster, more powerful punches in between. He wears fighters out with pressure. He has only been finished once by strikes. He has 19 KO TKO. And Means is great and close. He's nasty in the dirty boxing range. He has slicing elbows, short hooks, uppercuts. Throws nice knees to the body. Great job using unhooks to defend takedowns, put fighters on their backs. He'll also attack with guillotines. He did that against Bilal Muhammad. He almost rolled into the mount, but he was stopped by the cage. He has a good double leg takedowns, good body lock takedown in his last match. On top, he does a great job posturing, throwing hard elbows, punches. He was able to take down Ricky Rainey early, landed some brutal ground and pound for the finish. Tends to shoot takedowns when he gets hurt, though, and he can be submitted that way. He has good arm triangles, but he doesn't look for submissions very much. He has 4 career submissions. He has been submitted 4 times. He's inconsistent. Some fights he looks great, others he can come out flat. He has to be confident here coming off of a quick finish, and he's looking to make a statement, in my opinion. Means is going to be the better, cleaner striker. He needs to exploit that. If he can keep Nico on the end of his jab, his straight punches, backing him up, he will be successful. He needs to keep this volume high. He can't give Price the opportunity to get comfortable. Price thrives in the chaos, and if Means can keep it tactical and not get drawn into a brawl, he will have success. When Price attempts takedown, he needs to make him pay. Just look to land hard knees, elbows, and close. I do feel that he could get a takedown in this fight or reverse a Price takedown and get in top position. And if he does, I could see him having success with ground and pound. Nico Price, he's a guy who's he has a bit of a screw loose. He's a crazy action fighter with brutal power. He's shown the ability to close the show with one shot. He has supreme confidence that he will find the knockout, and even when things aren't going his way, he tends to turn the tables. He has a nice jab, straight right hand. He has hard leg kicks, nice high kick. He will throw front kicks up the middle, to the body, to the head. Big power in his right hand. He is a bit flat-footed, but he's gotten better at using lateral movement, circling away. He doesn't move his head. He can be hit with sharp counters. He will get in your face. He really puts the pressure on you, and if he sees you feel his shots, he's a finisher. None of his UFC fights have seen the final bell. He has 8 KO TKOs. He has short-range power. He has only been KO'd once in his career, but he's taken a lot of damage, and with this style, he relies on his chin. He's been rocked or dropped in a lot of his UFC fights. Abdul Razak Al-Hassan knocked him out badly. Randy Brown hurt him with a big knee. Vicente Luque dropped him. Alex Morono dropped him. He has shown good recoverability, but eventually you're going to start getting flatlined from that. And Nico Price, he's a solid overall grappler. He's proven to be dangerous in all areas on the mat. I wouldn't say he's the greatest wrestler. I feel Means may even have a wrestling advantage, especially early. Price can be a little sloppy with his entries, especially his double legs. He has good double legs when he times them correctly, though. He sometimes can shoot from too far out, and I feel Means may be able to reverse, but when he does get good singles or double entries, he does a good job pushing opponents to the cage, chaining takedowns together, getting body locks, getting a takedown. He's definitely better at getting takedowns in the clinch against the cage. When he gets opponents down, he likes to work quickly. He has strong ground and pound. He'll look for submissions. He has 2 submissions in his UFC career. He does a great job of transitioning to the back, getting rear naked chokes. He also had an arm triangle victory over Brandon Thatch. He can be taken out himself, but he is extremely creative, dangerous off his back. He's the only fighter in UFC history to win via hammer fist from the bottom. He was able to trap Randy Brown's head into place with the instep of his foot, landing some vicious hammer fists, knocking Brown out cold. He was able to reverse George Sullivan with the omoplata in his last win, quickly transitioned to the rear naked choke. He did take some nice ground and pound shots versus Brown. He was cut open with elbows against George Sullivan. He needs to be very careful not to be sloppy in his wrestling in this fight because Means is a beast on top. If he allows Means to posture up, laying ground and pound, it could be a quick night for Price. Means was able to dust Rainey with ground and pound his last time out. And, it has to have given him confidence. Price has 3 career submissions. He's only been submitted once after being butchered on the feet by Vicente Luque. Price has good cardio. He has an unbreakable will. He's going to want to get inside, make this a brawl, and then get Means on his back. And we've seen the weakest area of Means' game is working on his back. If Price can get in dominant positions against Means, he may be able to put him out with ground and pound or get the submission. Price is coming off a brutal knockout, but I don't think it will affect him mentally or his fighting style. He's someone who's going to live by the sword, die by the sword. His chin could be weakened, though, so it's something to have to keep an eye on. Price always has that power to put you out, too, and whenever he's fighting, I will be watching, but I'm going to go with the Dirty Bird. I think Tim Means is more technical on the feet. I think he'll land more numbers than Price, be able to control the pace of the fight, sting Price with jabs, front kicks, straight punches. I think he can land hard knees and elbows as Price tries to get inside. Try to use his aggressiveness against him, reverse him, put him on his back if he shoots sloppy. He has to respect the power price, and if he gets put on his back, stay calm, try to get back to his feet immediately. I just think Means is the better fighter everywhere. Price hasn't gotten a decision to his UFC career, but I'm going to say Means takes him to a decision, gets the job done 30-27, 29-28. So I'm going to go with Tim Means via decision in this fight. And up next we have another potential fight of the night here with Zaleski Dos Santos against Carlos Melender. And welterweight is so stacked, that two monsters like Zaleski and Melender aren't even ranked. They're two of the most fun, dynamic strikers to watch. It should be a barn burner, man. Zaleski Dos Santos has been criminally underrated so far in his UFC tenure. He's won 6 consecutive fights, all being amazing fights, but he still hasn't gotten the love or the support from the UFC. And with the win here over Curtis Melender, I don't think the UFC will be able to ignore him any longer. But Melender is 3-0 since joining the UFC. He seems to be the fighter they're pushing. They gave him this Zaleski matchup on the night of his last win, so he's had ample time to prepare. So I feel like they're kind of wanting Curtis Melender to win this fight. The winner should be in line for a top 10 opponent in their next outing. Zaleski Dos Santos, he's a warrior. He loves to bite down on the mouthpiece and just go to war. He hits hard. He's very athletic. He's sneaky, explosive. Nice jab, good inside leg kicks. He has a nice straight right hand. He throws hard right hooks. He'll throw jab, overhand right combos. He'll also throw hard hook combos with both hands. He'll rip the body with hard left hooks and straight rights. He'll throw rear leg body kicks to a straight right hand combination. He has good head kicks with both legs. His front leg is good. He has nice lead leg kicks, round side kicks to the body, head kicks. He has nice capoeira kicks. He KO'd Sean Strickland with a spinning heel kick. He'll throw spinning heel kicks to the body as well. He's good at using ladder movement, lateral footwork to walk opponents into his kicks, hooks, overhands. He has back-to-back KO TKOs. He's won 6 UFC fights in a row. 14 KO TKOs in his career. He has amazing chin, great recoverability. If both fighters hurt each other and this fight gets wild, expect Zaleski to be the one left standing, in my opinion. He's never been finished by strikes in his career. If Zaleski's going to be the better grappler, I expect him to try to exploit that. He's good in the clinch. He has nice double underhooks. He'll land nasty knees to the body, throw nice elbows over the top. He has hard hook and uppercut combinations off the break. He's not super active as a grappler, but I expect him to try to wrestle here. He showed some decent timing on his double leg, single leg entries, but he hasn't finished them very well. He doesn't have great drive on his shots. I do feel if he trains to take Melender down, though, he could get takedowns, and I see him having an advantage on top. We haven't seen his top game much, but he finished Strickland with some brutal hammer fist. He was able to drop Max Griffin, quickly take the back, but he didn't keep the position long. He has attempted some tricky submissions in the octagon, like Peruvian neckties. He only has 2 career submissions. He has been submitted twice himself. He has fantastic cardio. He has an iron will. I think Zaleski's going to want to use his lateral movement to walk Melender into shots. He's fast in and out. He should want to throw in combination as well, try to catch Melender as he's leaning back. I feel if he can get Melender on the ground or in the clinch, he could have an advantage as well. But Curtis Melender is 3-0 to start his UFC career. He's looking to break into the top 15 with the win here. He's a long, dangerous striker with a lot of weapons. He's dangerous with everything: punches, kicks, knees, elbows. He has great distance control. He likes to pressure opponents slowly, slide in and out of range, time counters. He has a great jab, strong leg kicks. He has fast straight right hand, nice counter uppercuts, left hooks. Nasty kicks, great front and round kicks to the body. He's a very tricky striker. He's always looking to set up a knee or a nasty high kick. He finished Thiago Alves with a nasty knee. He has 2 KOs via head kick before that. His defense is nice. He changes it up. He'll use good slips, head movement at times to avoid shots, come back with counters. He also does a good job hand fighting, coming over the top with shots. Does a good job staying patient, forcing you to come to him so he could try to walk fighters into something. He also stands very tall, though, and almost square right in front of opponents, which makes him dangerous from both sides, but it also makes him easy to take down and easy to clinch and push against the cage. He sometimes can get caught standing too tall with his hands low on the second or third punch in a combo, and I think that's where Zaleski could possibly catch him. He will throw some interesting techniques at close range, like front elbows, hammer fist. He has nasty step and knees to the head, to the body. He can get his knee to the target extremely fast, and he seems to start slow, though, and then pick it up as the fight continues. He lost the first round to Kevin Holland and Max Griffin before winning the decisions. He seems to have poor fight IQ when he has someone hurt. He rocked Kevin Holland badly, then awkwardly attempted a spinning attack that gave Holland his back. He dropped Thiago Alves with the uppercut in round 1. He walked away like he won. He ended up not getting the finish there when he probably could have at that point. He has 6 KO TKOs. He's a big, strong welterweight with a great chin. He's never been finished by strikes. He's an improving grappler. He's good in the clinch. He has nasty knees to the body, to the head, great elbows, uppercuts in close. He'll throw a flurry of elbows, knees in the clinch. He can't hurt fighters and finish them in that position. I still feel he needs to improve how he deals with forward pressure. He tends to stand too tall. He'll try to counter move him backwards, but if he doesn't land, fighters are clinched up with him against the cage or taking him down. And Max Griffin was able to land an overhand into a takedown, control Melender on his back rather easily. Thiago Alves was able to get a takedown. Even CR was able to get a takedown, multiple takedowns, even when he was rocked. So every single opponent has been able to take Curtis Melender down. And Curtis Melender doesn't seem to have much off his back. He just tries to control posture and not take damage. He did get a nice body lock takedown against Griffin. And if he can get on top, he's dangerous. He'll unload with the barrage of hammer fist. He'll attack with the elbows to the body as well. He has great cardio. He can go for 3 rounds easily. He was submitted twice in Bellator, but that was years ago. He has no career submissions. He needs to control the distance, use a lot of head movement, parrying, rolling with punches, countering. If he can counter the hooks, the uppercuts of Zaleski with shots he doesn't see coming, he could hurt him. He needs to go forward, use his lateral movement to avoid being backed up to the cage or potentially being taken down. But I'm going to go with Zaleski, man. I think he's going to be able to attack the body, use some movement, eventually blitz forward with shots or land a counter shot that pushes Curtis back to the cage. I also think he's going to shoot double legs, singles legs, and I feel like he could possibly take him down. And I feel like he could possibly hurt Melender on the break with shots. And I think if he takes Zaleski down, he could do damage. So I'm going to go with Zaleski Dos Santos via decision here, and I think he's going to get the victory and run his streak to 7 consecutive UFC wins. And up next here, we have the main event. This is a great main event. Former UFC champion Junior Dos Santos. He's been looking good lately. He's riding a 2-fight win streak. He was able to get a knockout over a new breed fighter in Tai Tuivasa. He's going to be taking on another new breed fighter here with Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is coming off a title loss to Daniel Cormier, but prior to that, he'd won 9 of his last 10 UFC fights. And Junior Dos Santos, he's one of the best heavyweights of all time. He's beaten fighters such as Stipe Miocic, Cain Velasquez, Fabricio Verdum, Shane Carwin. He's a great boxer. He's very fast with his hand speed. For a heavyweight, he's a nasty jab. He'll attack the body with the jab. I see his jab being an integral part to the win here if he gets it done. It's a very similar matchup to his last couple wins, or last 3 wins really, with Tai Tuivasa, Ben Rothwell, and Blagoy Ivanov. He did a great job of working off his jab in those matches after establishing. After he bloodied their faces with the jab, he began feigning the jab, throwing overhand rights, counter left hooks. He has great counter left hooks. His counter punching makes it hard for fighters to be super aggressive. We saw that with Tai Tuivasa. He got a little over aggressive, got countered, got finished. And Dos Santos has nasty low leg kicks. He hurt the leg of Stipe Miocic prior to being finished in his title fight. And I think he will utilize those low kicks in this fight. His footwork has always been an issue. He doesn't have great lateral movement. Fighters are able to push him to the cage. When he gets stuck against the cage, he doesn't react well. He can get hit clean or taken down. And Dos Santos has been better in his last 2 fights of using his jab, more lateral movement. That is still an issue for him. Dos Santos is extremely dangerous. He has huge power. He has 14 KO TKOs, and he's finished some of the best heavyweights of all time. He's taken a lot of damage himself, though. His chin is questionable. He has been finished three times by KO TKO, and they were in his last 3 losses. He's a good grappler, and I think he may try to use that here early. We don't usually see him go for many takedowns, but he has shown good blast double legs. He can shoot singles, push his opponents to the cage, then look for a takedown from there. I feel he may try to take Lewis down early, drain his gas tank by controlling him on the mat. Defensively, Dos Santos has great takedown defense. He's very hard to hold down. I don't see that being an issue in this match. I highly doubt Lewis will attempt takedown. Dos Santos has much more experience in 5-round fights. He can go all 5 rounds comfortably. He also has only 1 submission in his career. He's only been submitted 1 time himself. And Dos Santos should look to use his jab, straight punches to bust Lewis up from the outside. He needs to throw hard, low leg kicks, try to slow the explosiveness of Lewis. He should have major hand speed advantage, and I feel if he can get out of round 3, it's his fight to lose. He needs to throw a lot of front kicks to the body jab, try to tire out Lewis. We have seen Lewis hurt to the body before. We've also seen JDS KO Marco with the spinning heel kick, and Lewis has been finished by head kick before. He needs to feint a lot, go forward. He cannot back up here against Lewis. He needs to avoid being near the fence at all costs. He exits against the cage awkwardly with his hands down, and that's a big opportunity for Lewis to finish. Lewis is a pretty good boxer. He can close the distance with powerful combinations. He's very explosive for someone his size. He's extremely quick. Lewis has a similar style to Yoel Romero in terms of fighting in spots. He'll be inactive, look like he's not doing much on the feet at all, and then explode in with a powerful blitz attack, finish the fight. He has a decent jab, good right hook. He likes to counter with the right hook of the pocket. He does a good job moving his head off center line, avoiding your shot, and then making you miss and landing his own. He's very good in the dirty boxing range, nice short hooks, uppercuts. He can generate knockout power in short distances. He's surprisingly athletic for a fighter his size. He shows that, with his bountiful kicking game, he'll use an array of kicks. He'll throw front kicks to the body, switch kicks to the head. spinning heel kicks. He can sometimes throw the head kicks blind, but they're so powerful that his opponent has to respect them, and he'll slam the kick up against his opponent's arms. And if he can knock them off balance, he'll explode in with punching combinations right after. Lewis has no problem getting in the pocket, throwing down a few, biting down on the mouthpiece, going to war. He's a tough guy, and some people say he's a quitter, mentally weak, but I completely disagree. I kind of feel like that notion is done now after his comeback against Alexander Volkov. And I do feel like Lewis does sometimes play possum a little bit, where he'll pretend to be more hurt than he is, then try to land a big shot with the counter or something. So people have to be very weary when they come in on this guy trying to get the finish. But Lewis has been finished with strikes 3 times, but he has a pretty good chin, the ability to take shots and come back. He is susceptible to body shots, but he's tough. He'll battle through it. We saw that with Travis Brown. The bottom line, though, is you always have to be careful with the Black Beast. He's the definition of a knockout artist. He has 16 KO TKOs to his name, 10 in the UFC, which is the most in UFC history for a heavyweight. And he's an underrated grappler. He's good in the clinch. He does a great job getting double underhooks, digging with big knees to the body. He did that very effectively against Roy Nelson. He's also extremely dangerous in the clinch with punches. He could throw big short hooks, uppercuts, and you can have fighters twitching on the canvas, in short range. He doesn't have normal power. He'll shoot for takedowns. He likes to get double legs against the cage, occasionally try to get body lock takedowns. Does a good job defending takedowns, reversing, getting on top. Lewis has some of the best ground pound in the history of MMA. It's absolutely devastating. He'll throw huge hammer fist elbows. If he can pass your guard into the mount, the fight's as good as over. He's extremely heavy. He's almost impossible to get up from under. If he gets on top of Dos Santos, or anyone for that matter, they're in serious trouble. Off of his back, he isn't very dangerous, but he has an uncanny ability to just stand up when he wants to, just belly down, give his back, stand right up. Fighters haven't been able to take his back or stop from disengaging the clinch when he stands up, proving just how physically strong Lewis is. He was submitted, though, fairly easily by Daniel Cormier by doing that in his last match by rear naked choke. Lewis needs to go forward, push JDS towards the cage, explode with combinations. We have seen JDS put out his last 3 losses, and Lewis is one of the hardest hitters of all time. I find it hard to believe that Lewis is going to win a decision here. I think he needs a KO or a submission to get a victory. Derek Lewis has to go forward in this fight. He cannot stay at a kicking range like he did versus Volkov. The thing about Lewis is he's so explosive, in my opinion, more explosive than JDS's last 3 opponents. And we saw that explosiveness of Tai Tuivasa gave JDS problems. He was backed up against the cage, hit with some big shots. And if he gets inside and gets against the cage, I think Lewis could hurt him bad. I think JDS will almost undoubtedly be finished if Lewis hurts him. And JDS needs to have a mistake-free fight here to win. He needs to go forward, feint, fake, throw jabs, teeps, keep Lewis guessing, keep him on the back foot, not let him get going. I just feel that at some point Derek Lewis is going to hurt and finish JDS. JDS is hittable, and if Lewis explodes, gets JDS backed up, I just think he's going to finish him. So I'm going to say Derek Lewis via late second round KO. Lewis is just more durable. I think at some point he's going to walk through JDS's shots, make a stand, explode forward. And if he lands, he's more likely to KO JDS than JDS is to KO him, even though JDS has huge power. Never sleep on that. But going to go with Derek Lewis via late second round KO TKO in this fight. And like I said, I picked a lot of underdogs in this fight. So there is a lot of, things where a lot of underdogs that I think are live, such as guys like Dan Moret, Zach Ottow, Luis Smolka, Marion Reneau, Tim Boetsch, Ben Rothwell, and Derek Lewis. So I picked quite a few underdogs. Is Zaleski Dos Santos an underdog as well? I mean, I almost picked all underdogs on this card, which, is going to burn me or is going to be pretty successful here. But that's just how I see it. I mean, I'm not going to be detoured by a money line to say that I'm not going to pick a fighter because of that. So I'm going to pick who I think is going to win. Those are my picks. And for the parlay of the week, I'm going to say Grant Dawson and Jeff Hughes. And for my most confident pick, I'm going to say Grant Dawson. I just want to say thanks a lot, guys, for all the support that I've been getting lately. Had my first 100+ like video on my last time, so that was awesome. And I'm going to be putting my PayPal in the description. So if you guys want to make a donation, support the show, that would be amazing. Definitely not 100% needed. It's just if you want to do it. But hope you guys enjoy the show. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tell me who you think you're going to win. Tell me what you thought about UFC 235. We didn't really get into that too much, but we could get into a little bit here. We had a pretty good night. We went 9-3. We hit the parlay of the week. We hit the most confident pick. We hit quite a few underdogs there. We had picked Diego Sanchez. How about that win? Diego Sanchez still putting it down. guy from the Ultimate Fighter won. We picked Hannah Cyphers to get the victory there. Hannah Cyphers came out, pulled it out. And, I was very disappointed in the performance of Tyron Woodley. I thought he came out very flat, but props to Kamaru Usman. He went in there. He did what he had to do. He got a dominant victory, 50-44. It'd be pretty shocking. I don't think anyone saw that coming. John Jones went in there. He did what he had to do. But, one of the fights that I really want to talk about, man, is Ben Askren against Robbie Lawler. I was a little bit disappointed in that, man. I feel like Robbie Lawler came out looking like a fucking destroyer. He was a beast. He came out looking like he was ready to go, man. He was a scary looking dude out there. And I thought in the first 30 seconds, I thought Ben Askren was out, man. I thought that when he slammed him on his head, he had his arm trapped, he was beating the shit out of him. I thought they were gonna stop that fight, man. I really did. And you know, eventually Ben Askren, he was able to survive, come back from the dead. So that was very impressive by Ben Askren. But I mean, then he had that bulldog choke where, to me, man, I know it's a little bit of controversy there where with his arm dropped or whatever, a lot of people are saying he was out cold, but I don't think he was out, man. I think that it was pretty clear on the replay, just in my opinion, that when Herb Dean grabbed his arm, he pulled his arm away, he put his thumb up. When Ben Askren let go of the choke, he was right back. He was right back lucid. And to me, man, I'm a fan of Ben Askren. I really liked his trash talk, over the time that he's been in the UFC, but I didn't like his post-fight speech at all, man. I didn't like what he was saying where, is that the best you got? All that bullshit. Ben, you just got your ass kicked, bro. Like, Robbie Lawler was kicking your ass. That was not a clear victory. And now he doesn't want to do the rematch, any stuff like that. I just thought that was, I don't know. Act like you've been there before, for Ben Askren, where I didn't really like that. I feel like he should have offered Robbie Lawler the rematch. He's a champion of the UFC. Obviously, that wasn't a clear victory, and but that's just my thoughts on that. That's my thought on UFC 235. That's my breakdown for UFC on ESPN Plus 4. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week, and make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and thanks a lot.